Teenage girl and her father found dead at their home in Sible Hedingham in Essex. Both died of stab wounds, a post-mortem's revealed.
Police say they're not looking for anyone else in connection with the deaths of Margaret Paredes and her father Costas, who had a rocky relationship. Well, Tom Barton is at the family home for us tonight. Tom.
Jonathan, the home remains cordoned off tonight, more than 2 days after the terrible events which I've been told happened in the kitchen of this house. Now, like many fathers and daughters, Costa Paredes and his 16-year-old daughter Margaret did have their differences, but certainly nobody ever thought it would come to this. An hour before police were called to their house, Margaret Paredes' last Facebook update said, "What a special girl I am. Well, my dad says, anyway." When police arrived at the family home in Sible Hedingham, Essex, they found her father, Costas, dead and Margaret fatally wounded. Margaret was airlifted to Colchester Hospital but died later. Today, friends were laying flowers outside the house.
We'll never ever forget her. It's just someone you can't put your mind to rest at, really. She's just an amazing girl and we'll miss her forever. There won't be a second without missing her.
The sequence of events inside this house is still unclear. We do know that both Margaret and Costas died of stab wounds. Police are still, though, trying to piece together who attacked who. A former pupil at Hedingham School, Margaret took her GCSEs there earlier this year.
She was a very friendly girl, very outgoing, very lively, always had a smile on her face, and she was popular with students and with staff.
Margaret had had a troubled relationship with her father. ITV News understands that she moved out of the family home earlier this year after getting involved with drink and drugs. In spring this year, Margaret moved into the Foyer Salvation Army hostel in Braintree. She returned home earlier this summer and went on a family holiday to Greece, returning 3 weeks ago. Friends say everything seemed perfect. On Friday, a party was apparently cancelled after Margaret was told no alcohol was allowed. Then just before 10 to 10 the next day, emergency services were called to the family home. Margaret's friend Kika said that after she moved back home, she stopped taking drugs and her relationship with her family improved. The local vicar saw the whole family just a few days ago. He says everything seemed normal.
I found them a very nice family. I spent probably a couple of hours chatting to them over lunch, and they would be like any other, happy family enjoying their Sunday together.
You didn't detect any problems in the family when you saw them?
None at all, no. In fact, Costas and Margaret were talking quite happily to one another over lunch.
The Paredes had 2 other daughters and 2 sons. For them and their mother, this is a tragedy too huge to comprehend. Tom Barton, Anglia News at Sible Hedingham in Essex.
Tom, do we know how the family are coping?
Well, the local vicar that you saw in my report there, he has spoken to Margaret's mother since Saturday morning's terrible events. He told me that she is simply stunned and just can't take it in. Now, I understand that the whole family were in the house at the time of Saturday's argument, including Margaret's 4 younger siblings. That is, of course, horrific for them, but it could prove vital for the police as they try to piece together exactly what happened.
All right, Tom, we'll leave it there. Thank you for that. Well, do stay with us. More news from your part of the region on the way. And we've got an intriguing interview with the former head of the army.
A mother from Southend has only months to live after doctors failed to diagnose cancer.
Catherine Watkins had more than 20 medical examinations before the illness was spotted. There's now little more she can do than achieve some of her lifetime ambitions, as Lorna Ramsey now reports.
Not fair, is it? No. Life isn't fair.
For Catherine and Bob Watkins, every moment is precious. Catherine's been diagnosed with the disease. She was never given the opportunity to fight.
Robbed of my life. I'm in stage 4. I would like to have known about stage 1, 2 and 3. And I would like to have had a chance to fight what is killing me.
Catherine and Bob tell me she first visited doctors 3 years ago. Since then, she's had more than 20 appointments where doctors put her symptoms down to conditions including diabetes and gallstones. But when the right diagnosis of liver and pancreatic cancer finally came, it was too late.
We're just in love. Simple as that. We're in love, and we're going to be separated through what may have been or could have been a simple test. But we'll never know that now, so...
Symptoms of pancreatic cancer include weight loss, pains in the stomach and jaundice. But it's difficult to spot because they only occur at an advanced stage. They also vary on where the cancer is within the pancreas. Catherine hasn't put a formal complaint into Southend Hospital because she says she's not interested in blaming anyone or compensation. But in a statement, the hospital encouraged her to contact them so they can investigate exactly what happened. But Catherine insists she isn't going to do that. She wants to spend her last remaining months on positive things. She's raising money for Pancreatic Cancer UK by doing a skydive with her family and renewing her wedding vows with Bob. Lorna Ramsey, Anglia News, Southend.
People who heat their homes with oil are being urged to be on their guard after several thefts in Norfolk. 800 litres have been stolen from a tank at Ringland near Norwich, while 230 litres was siphoned off in Beeston Regis near Sheringham.
Norwich City Councillor Adrian Ramsey has been re-elected Deputy Leader of the Green Party. Mr Ramsey's held the post since 2008. He gained 73% of the vote of the party members.
Norwich City striker Grant Holt has been banned from driving for 6 months. Holt was convicted at a court in Shropshire of failing to supply police with the identity of a driver allegedly caught speeding in his car. He was fined £600 and ordered to pay £400 costs.
Well, it's better news on the pitch for Holt. Norwich are in a healthy position now, just a point behind neighbours Ipswich near the top of the Championship table.
Meanwhile, Canaries fans hope another court case won't affect the form of their weekend match winner. Jonathan Blake has more.
Norwich boss Paul Lambert has often said Chris Martin is one of the best finishers he's worked with. On Saturday, the 21-year-old once again demonstrated his prowess with a stylish winner against Barnsley. No obvious sign of being affected by his impending court case, having been charged with common assault. Lambert hopes he'll be OK for the game at Doncaster.
Chris Martin, when he gets a chance in front of the goal, he takes him, and his goal on Saturday I thought was terrific. Yeah, he's got the issues everybody knows about, but hopefully that'll be resolved.
Connor Wickham almost marked his return from injury for Ipswich with the winner at Portsmouth, but they had to settle for a goalless draw. Manager Roy Keane not just pleased about his teenage striker's recovery, with a flurry of games to come, starting with leaders QPR.
If you look at our bench over the last month or two, a lot of young players, so for us to know to look at Connor's obviously still relatively young, but a bit of experience coming back into it, and that was pleasing. The boys had about 20 minutes each.
Colchester, like Ipswich, still have an unbeaten league record despite drawing at home to Plymouth in League One. They did lead through Andy Bond. Having scored 4 in their last home game, Peterborough went one better on Saturday by scoring 5 against Oldham, again coming from 2 goals down. George Boyd with the pick of their goals. And Anthony Grant's 3rd goal in successive games for Southend didn't lead to a 3rd straight win. Instead, they lost at Northampton, their winner coming 14 minutes from time. Donovan Blake, Anglia News.
In the FA Cup, a milestone for Suffolk non-league club Felixstowe and Walton United. In red and white here, they progressed through to the 2nd qualifying round. That's for the first time since their merger 10 years ago, and they came from behind to beat Wellingborough Town from Northamptonshire 2-1. Adam Hampson's equaliser, followed by the winner from Joe Bloomfield. That was 11 minutes from time.
Well, just cutting from the right, really. I'd had a few chances in the first half, and then when I hit it, it was only one place it was going, really, in the top corner, so lovely.
I don't even remember what happened on mine. The ball just come across. I just remember me nipping in front of the defender, and I just got a toe to it and just went mental, to be fair.
Pleased for the chairman, really. He's got his hands in his pockets for the next round.
A ceremony to mark the start of the Battle of Britain commemorations was held in Norwich this lunchtime. Airmen and women from RAF Marham were among those who paraded through the city, accompanied by the band of the Royal Air Force Regiment. But the highlight for many onlookers was a flypast by a Spitfire from the Battle of Britain memorial flight.